A CAF Champions League quarterfinals draw we've all been waiting for is done and dusted. And this might actually be a signal from the football gods that we might actually have a South African CAF Champions League finalist. Exciting times for everyone. What a hearty welcome if you see my face and this content for the very first time. I do go by the name of Oscar. It's Football, where we engage and discuss on anything to do with football, from Africa to the world and from the world to Africa. Well, the prayer and the desire of every South African was that let Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates not meet in the quarterfinals. And the chances were very hard because Orlando Pirates were group winners while Mamelodi Sundowns were runners up in their group. So there was a chance for the two to meet. And now, happy times, the two giants of South African football are not meeting in the quarterfinals. Now, what is also interesting is that if you look at the best 11 of the group stages, you notice that all the 8 clubs in the quarterfinals are well represented in that best 11. I think we only have one Mamelodi Sundowns in a Tebogo Mokoena, and we've got 2 Orlando Pirates who were group winners, who did brilliantly, winning away in Egypt to Cairo against the giants of African football, Ahly. They have Thabiso Sesane, who's unfortunately now out injured, and they have the exciting, who also was wanted by a Zamalek, who tabled an offer close to 20 million rands, Erele Mufukeng, one of the most exciting young players in the African continent. And we have a left back from ASFAR, a right back from Hilal, a centre back from ASFAR. The goalkeeper, I believe, is the MC Alger one, and all the other players are Ahly. But every face of the best 11 is coming from the best 8 in the premium competition of African football. Now, let us go to the fixtures, and obviously I'll be zooming in a lot in the 2 South African clubs because I'm a content creator from South Africa, although I cover a lot of these African games. Now, before we zoom into the premium competition on the continent, it's also fair for me to mention that the other South African club who will be competing in the quarterfinals in CAF Champions League and CAF Confederation Cup is Stellenbosch, the One Boys of Western Cape. Now, they have been mashed up against the group winners, the defending champions of CAF Confederation Cup. Excuse me. That is Zamalek. It's a very tough fixture for Stellenbosch, but they've bought well. Hopefully, some of the players they got during the transfer window, your Bradley, who was coming from the TS Galaxy, will be available in 4 weeks' time when these quarterfinals will be kicking off. Now, let's go back to quarterfinals of CAF Champions League. We have 8 teams, and this is how the route has been mapped out to the final. The quarterfinals between Ahly and Al Hilal and Mamelodi Sundowns and ES or Esperance, the Tunis of Tunisia, they are on one side, the quarterfinals. And the other quarterfinals were on the other side. We have the North African clash between Pyramid FC and ASFAR of Morocco, with the fourth quarterfinals being MC Alger of Algeria against Orlando Pirates. So that's how things have been mapped out. So the winners between Al Hilal and Al Ahly, Mamelodi Sundowns and Mamelodi Sundowns and Esperance will be meeting in the first semi-final, while the winners between Orlando Pirates and MC Alger and the other quarterfinals being the North African clash, Pyramid and ASFAR, will be the other semi-final. So clearly things have really been mapped out in that way, and this, if it's a signal from the football gods, I am happy if Mamelodi Sundowns win all their games, quarterfinals and semi-finals, while Orlando Pirates win on the other side, their quarterfinals and semi-finals, to eventually meet in the final. But excitement and emotions and sentimentality aside, quarterfinals, CAF Champions League, one thing it has taught us, especially from a Mamelodi Sundowns perspective, is that it is a whole different ball game, different mentality, different mindset, different approach as compared to the group stages. I mean, for the past 3 seasons, Mamelodi Sundowns have been excellent in group stages and got to the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and fumbled. And obviously, the expectations for majority of African football followers is that Mamelodi Sundowns are probably going to do well. But obviously, the approach, I think the advantage this time around with a Portuguese mentor who previously coached and Esperance will be meeting in the quarterfinals, is that he at least understands the two sides or Champions League itself. He took Esperance to the final, kicking out Mamelodi Sundowns in that semi-final. Mamelodi Sundowns not scoring even a single goal, failing to score in Tunisia, failing to score in the reverse fixture in Pretoria. Now, the approach from Mamelodi Sundowns maybe was not even to win the group stage, and how things have gotten out. Some fans are 50-50, you know, in regards with confidence as to what is going to happen, because in the past we've been brilliant in the group stages, but now that we're finding ourselves as runners-up, and what happens in CAF Champions League is that the first leg of the quarterfinals is the runners-up are the one who host, and the second leg will go to the group winners. Now, obviously, with the quarterfinals, there's a whole lot of other advantages we are going to get. For example, I think a VAR is an advantage because, I mean, a VAR can save you or can really kill you when you think you've scored a winning goal, and then the goal is reversed. So I think a VAR would definitely be an advantage for all the teams. We only have 2 Southern African teams, and all the other teams are North Africans, if I also have to include Al Hilal, because there might be an argument, are they East, are they West? But I think they form part because they border Egypt. Sudan borders Egypt, so I'll include them as a North African side. So the South African side have avoided each other, and it could go the opposite direction, and Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates could be eliminated, and we're still going to have the same thing we've been having the past years, a North African clash in the semi-finals and in the finals. But my prediction, as things look, is that we're definitely going to have a Mamelodi Sundowns. This is not confidence speaking, but this is me looking at all, you know, past experiences, you know, the coaches, the depth, you know, at application, or how the team will tolerate or react to these, you know, football, what do you call them, dark arts of football. So, first semi-final, my prediction is that Ahly, the defending champions, are going to overcome Al Hilal. Although Al Hilal, yes, the country is war-ridden, so I believe that Al Hilal, they're playing in Mauritania in that league together with Al Merrek, because they've got the money. So they're forming part of that league in Mauritania. So they are active, and maybe the competition is stiffer there, I'm not sure. But their group run was so good that we can't say they are weak opponents. There's no weak opponent in the quarterfinals. And but I believe that Ahly, with their experience, pedigree, they should be able to overcome. They bought well even in this transfer window. So we're going to have a Mamelodi Sundowns versus an Ahly. Mamelodi Sundowns, who should be able to overcome Esperance, because now we've got a technical team, a coach who knows the ins and the outs of Esperance. Yes, we'll be having an Elias Mkwana, the South African Bafana International, will be playing against Mamelodi Sundowns, and it's going to be tough fixtures on this side of of the route. I'm talking about Ahly, Hilal, Mamelodi Sundowns, and Esperance. So the first semi-final, Ahly versus a Mamelodi Sundowns, and on the right hand side, Pyramid FC. I think they've got a very good, striking force. Fiston Mayela and the Egyptians following him, taking forwards. Their number 10 is very good. ASFAR, they are good, but they are not as brilliant as they were the past season when they were under Coach Nabi. So Pyramid FC should be able to progress to the semi-finals, and I believe that Orlando Pirates are going to overcome MC Alger. This is, I'm not emotional about this, but I watched some of the games that MC Alger have played. But again, to go to my point is that it's a different mindset, different ball game, different approach when it's quarterfinals, especially from the North Africans. My Orlando Pirates, they should quickly fix that defending set pieces, because if not, then North Africans, they specialize on that. But if Orlando Pirates should fix that, they should be okay. They should be okay. They've got a brilliant forward line. Mabasa, you've got a Mwanasis, you've got a Vele, you've got a Tito, so you've got a young Kota Mohau. So they do have a decent team as well. The only question mark would be their depth and injuries, because in South Africa they are behind games and they need to catch up to the games Mamelodi Sundowns have played, and that piling up of games could cause a lot of fatigue. And the travels now, Africa, it's another thing, there's a logistic travel issue here in Africa, and them going to Algeria, there's no straight flight from South Africa to Algeria unless they get a charter flight, which is not cheap. So they're probably going to fly to Dubai or Qatar, or use Esperance to Paris and fly back to Alger. So those are the challenges some people might not actually understand about flying or playing football in Africa, unlike in Europe, where you can have a 2-hour flight, 45-minute flight, and a 45-minute flight to England, Germany, Italy, and all. The flights there are much easier, and as compared to here in Africa. So I believe those are going to be the semi-finals we are going to have in this year's edition of CAF Champions League. Pyramid FC versus Orlando Pirates, and Ahly, the defending champions, versus Mamelodi Sundowns. You can tell me in the comments below if that's just a wishful thinking or that's just a prayer that has not been answered yet. Let me hear your comments on the section below. Obviously, in the quarterfinals, we're also going to have that away goal rule. I don't know. What do you think about this? Should it be scrapped away? Is it an old school thing? Because, I mean, North Africans, what they do when they're playing away, they just look for that one goal, score the one goal, and literally pack a double-decker train. There's no football. It's almost like anti-football after they've scored that one goal away, and they defend for their lives. Even if, let's say, a Mamelodi Sundowns scores away, what happens is that they've got this mentality, their reaction to that is almost swift. It's almost like it's a team, a completely different team that was defending. So it's important that a team that's playing away really scores that first goal, because if they do, it's an open game. But if there's no goal, it's again that anti-football tactics. Now, I think one element that CAF should also be looking at, and actually look at even penalizing everyone involved, whether it's ball boys, whether it's the technical team. I'm talking about time wasting tactics. Everyone applies this, Mamelodi Sundowns included. CAF should really penalize this and actually really add a whole lot of time at the end of the first half or the second half, because it is so anti-football. It makes anyone who's foreign to the African continent lose interest in following our football. So CAF should really pin down on this, penalize everyone involved. Exciting quarterfinals. Good luck to all the South African clubs involved. And I should mention also Fadlu David's Simba They are playing Masai. I don't know how to pronounce the name. I believe they are from Egypt. They are CAF Confederations Cup. CAF Confederations Cup quarterfinals. And good luck to everyone involved. Stellenbosch, Fatler Davids, Mamelodi Sundowns, and Orlando Pirates. Let me hear your comments below. Yes, you do support the channel by liking, sharing, put on that notification bell that whenever I upload something, you're the first one that is notified. Now, let me end it there by declaring, may my God bless you all.